Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Today is our 5th lecture. Let's start the first part of our lecture. In the last lecture, we have studied measures of central tendency, both for group data and for the ungrouped data. The measures of tendency are mean, median, and mode. Mean is an average, median is a middle value, and mode is a most frequently occurred observation. Today, we will study the properties of mean. The first property of the mean is, if all the values of data are constant, same, then the mean of the data is that constant. That is, if we have a data set consists of a one digit, that is, let's suppose we have some data set x and the values of variable x is 2, 2, 2. So, when we calculate x bar, what will be the mean? Sum of observations divided by number of observations, that is equal to 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 divided by 4, which is equal to 2. So, if a data consists of all constant numbers, then the arithmetic mean of that data set is also that constant number. Okay. Property 2 is, sum of deviations of observations from their arithmetic mean is equal to 0. We have written it in notations for both ungrouped and grouped data. If we do deviations, what are deviations? Deviation is subtracting all the points from some particular point. So, the sum of deviations of observation from their arithmetic mean is equal to 0. अगर हम deviations लें किसी और पॉइंट से अदर देन अर्थमेटिक मीन, उस सम का जीरो, उस डेविएशन का सम जीरो नहीं होगा. लेकिन अगर हम डेविएशन अर्थमेटिक मीन से लेंगे तो उस सम जो है वो हमेशा जीरो होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी हैव एन डेटा सेट x is 2, 5, 8, 11. First, we will calculate the mean for the given data set. We know that the formula of the mean is sum of observations divided by number of observations. So, we sum the observations divided by 4 is equal to 6.5. What will we do next? We will take deviations. And deviations will be like this. X minus x bar. How we get minus 4.5? X is 2 and x bar is 6.5. We do 2 minus 6.5, that is equal to 4.5. 4.5 minus 4.5. Similarly, 5 minus 6.5, this is equal to minus 1.5, and we have completed the column this way. Now the sum of this column is, as we can see, minus 1.5 plus 1.5 minus 4.5 plus 4.5, and this will be equal to 0. The third property of the mean is sum of squares of deviations of observations from their arithmetic mean is minimum. In the last property we studied sum of deviations. Here we have sum of squares of deviations. It means when we get deviations, we will take square of these deviations and the sum will be minimum. Minimum is a relative measure, not an absolute measure. So, it means if we take deviations from arithmetic mean, take square and have sum, this sum will smaller as compared to if we take deviations from some other values and get sum. Okay, we will study with example. We have data set x is 2, 5, 8, 11. Here is the mean x minus x bar. First we will do x minus x bar whole square. This is the column of x minus x bar whole square. Now we will take the sum of this column and the sum is 45. We have studied that this sum is minimum. If we want to prove that it is minimum, we have to take some deviations from some other constant and then square and then take the sum. So what we will do, we take an arbitrary value that is 4 and take the deviations from the observations as we have done in the previous. 2 minus 4 is equal to minus 2. 5 minus 1 is equal to 5 minus 4 is equal to 1 and so on. This is the column of x minus 4. अब हम क्या करेंगे, हम इस कॉलम का स्क्वायर ले लेंगे. स्क्वायर क्या आ जाएगा, minus 2 square 4, 1, 16, 49. Now what is the sum of this column? That is 70. हमने इन सब observations का sum ले लिया. 4, 1, 16, 49. The sum is 70. Now if we compare these two sums, what is the minimum smaller value as compared to the other? 45. So, and this sum is from the deviations of mean. Let's move to the fourth property. The fourth property of the mean is combined mean. If x1 bar and x2 bar are the arithmetic means of two samples of size n1 and n2 respectively, then the arithmetic mean of the distribution combining the two can be calculated as using this formula. When we will use combined mean, when we have arithmetic mean of two samples, if our distribution is divided into two or more than two parts. Here we are considering two parts only. अगर हमारे पास दो पार्ट्स में वो डिवाइडेड है, हमारे पास हर पार्ट का मीन गिवन है, अर्थमेटिक मीन, एंड वी वांट टू कैलकुलेट अर्थमेटिक मीन फॉर द होल पॉपुलेशन, फॉर द कंबाइंड पॉपुलेशन, देन व्हाट विल वी डू? वी विल यूज कंबाइंड मीन. These are the two notations that are used to represent combined mean. We can use x double bar or x bar c. We used to write c in the subscript. Combined mean. And what is the formula? n1 into x1 bar plus n2 into x2 bar divided by n1 plus n2. What is n? We know n is used to represent the size of the sample. Here n1 represent size of one sample or one part, one group, and the n2 represent size of the other group. x1 represent the arithmetic mean of the first group and x2 represent the arithmetic mean of the second group or second sample. For example, the average marks of 3 batches of students having 70, 50 and 30 students respectively are 50, 55 and 45. Find the average marks of all the students. Then we have to find average marks of all the students, where we have average marks of 3 different groups. Okay. First group consists of 70 students and their average marks are 50. Second group consists of 50 students and their average marks are 55. Next, 30 students groups consist of 30 students and their average marks is 45. Now, we want to calculate combined average marks. What we will do, we will just put these values in the formula. In the last slide, we have studied combined mean formula for 2 groups. If we have 3 groups, we will add the part of the third group and so on. So, here, combined mean formula is N1 x1 bar plus N2 x2 bar plus N3 x3 bar divided by N1 plus N2 plus N3. By putting the values of N1 x1 and x1 bar, N2 x2 bar, N3 x3 bar and multiplying, adding, we get combined mean, that is 50.67. Now, this is the average marks of 150 students of the class. This is all for this part. Thank you.